Hey, Podnutzians. Welcome to Android App Addicts, episode 568. My name is Door Geek. This is an ad-free show. This show is ad-free thanks to our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/Android App Addicts. And today's show is brought to you by Jared G., active Patreon supporter for a long time, ever since February 2017. Thank you very much for the support, uh, Garrett. And as always, speaking of support, how are you doing, Josh?
Hey, Dor, I'm doing pretty good. Just apologize for missing so many weeks in a row again. It's quite a bit going on family wise here. Everybody is still alive for the moment, so that's good. Other than that, I'm just living the rural life per usual. How are you doing?
Uh, I would say I think just like everybody else, currently it's a mixed bag. Right now my doctor has me on prednisone, um, for like a pack where I do like 1 week of prednisone, 2 weeks off, week of prednisone. They think now some of my arm pain might be because of a developing autoimmune disease, which that's always fun.
That sounds terrible.
Oh no. It is what it is. I keep insisting to friends and family and my kids, no matter what you think, no matter what you feel, no matter what you believe, trust me, it could be worse. Um, if I do have an autoimmune disease, I do. I'll just work with it and figure it out and do everything I need to do to get past it. But I will say it's been, I don't even know how long since we've done a show. Part of it is my fault. Um, just because things, some things getting hectic, some things getting busy, and just mistiming on all of our parts. Ivor doesn't like the fact that he missed shows. Josh doesn't like the fact he missed shows, and I don't like the fact that I do. Also unfortunate part is, quite literally, I have like 80 links in the notes. But seriously, 5 seconds before we started this podcast up, Google Hangouts went down. Google Meet went down, and now I cannot get to play.google.com. Um, and I swore it was me. I thought it was a me thing, but now I can't even get to Google Play. So apparently, Google is right now under either a horrifically huge attack, or somebody clicked a button and misconfigured something. Now people are absolutely freaking out because I'm sure they're losing like $5 billion every minute.
Yeah. Couldn't happen to better people.
Well, the good news is they can afford it. Oh, wow. Okay. Is there any like catch up kind of things that you wanted to go over before we dove into hardware and news stuff?
No, not particularly. I haven't gotten any new hardware. I did, however, which is not Android related, but I'll somehow try to shoehorn it in. I did order an e bike for my wife and myself. So that'll be probably 6 weeks before they're delivered here. But I think it's going to be I'm going to say a life changing event once those come. And so I don't know if anybody out there in the listening sphere has one, but feel free to shoot an email with any ideas for, let's say, pimping my ride or just overall thoughts on e-bikes or anything like that. I know people that have them love them, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, a good Podnutzian, Liam down in Longview, Texas. I believe he basically hacked his own electric bike together. Where I believe he's getting like almost 30 miles per hour speed. I can just look, if you want to pimp the ride, all I gotta say is 3 letters: RGB. And after that, Arduino.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this one will do 32 kilometers an hour, and that's just on the throttle. That's without pedal assist. And the thing is, it has a 750 watt Bafang motor
Uh-huh.
on the back, but in Canada, you're only allowed to have 500-watt motor. Otherwise, it's considered a vehicle and you need a license and
Right.
blah blah blah. And
So
so they actually they use the software on the bike to restrict it down to 500 watts. So you can technically you can adjust that and probably do that 30 miles an hour.
gotcha. Swift in the YouTube chat is asking what who's the manufacturer?
It's a company called Volt Bike out of Vancouver, and the ones that we ordered are Yukon 750s. So it's a really it's a nice bike from what I can tell. So
Very cool. I am jealous, so I'll say I'm jealous. On the hardware front, I will just say I'm having fun still with the Pine phone. Um, it's a Linux based smartphone, lower spec. They do have a one that's going to go on pre-sale with double the storage. I believe it's 64 gigs of internal storage and 3 gigs of RAM. If you pay an extra $50, which pushes the price up to $200, you also get a USB-C hub with video on it. So I have the older version, and they just announced a 13-in-1 bootloader. So it looked, if I read it right correctly, you basically install this one thing on the phone, and then when you boot up, you can multi-boot up to 13 different operating systems. Right now, the phone is not ready for grandma. And I'm not even sure it's like a ready for a full-time phone for a nerd, but it's definitely at the speed of the hacker community right now to just hack away on this thing and get a whole lot of side things done and basically code your own solutions kind of thing. So I'm definitely still having fun with that. That's the only real true hardware news I have.
so is that community is it gaining steam? Is it picking up quite a bit?
I definitely think it's getting more attention. The problem is they can only create so many phones so quickly. You know what I mean? They have to outsource everything. And quite literally right now there are like bidding wars going on where Sony announced their PS5, Microsoft announced their new Xbox, you have Samsung, you have iPhone, you have Nintendo Switch selling. This is the damn Switch has been out now. This is going into its 4th year and they cannot keep them on the shelves. So quite literally, you have manufacturers outbidding each other for places to build their hardware. So Pine people have to get what they can get. So
I
they're
know
not able to keep up with demand.
I've noticed there's a new NVIDIA graphics card as well that apparently just flew off the shelves. But this is also a problem with bots anymore.
Yep.
Once something comes out, good luck.
Yep. So, but the community is definitely very vibrant. If you check out that Pine 64 on Discord, it's almost like Twitter. You can't keep up with it. It's too busy. It's too active. But
Probably
it's
with less a-holes than Twitter.
that's pretty easy to say. Yes. Um, and I'll say, but the community is very vibrant on their tablet, on their phone, on their single board computer, on the tablet, on all their hardware. People seem pretty jacked about it, is what I'll say. And they're unbelievably transparent. Check out the Mini PC show. They basically just had basically a data breach on their store, but they also guarantee, which I don't ever hear this, they guarantee no credit card was leaked. Um, so at least they're being honest and upfront and not hiding things from their people for like a year.
There was one thing I attempted with my phone. I can't remember if we discussed this or if it happened after, but I tried to hook it up to a projector for the first time using the USB C to I don't remember how I did it. Uh, something, couple adapters in there, because we had some people over to watch an outdoor film one night, and like I plugged it in and it went to desktop mode automatically, and it was working great unfortunately, none of the video streaming services that I need were available in desktop mode on Android.
Ah,
So I think both um, Netflix and Amazon Prime Video just wouldn't work on it.
hmm.
So basically, it was useless for the use case I was trying to use it for.
Well, I'll say there's two links in the notes. And I'm gonna see if I can see if this will work. Pull this up. Yeah. There's actually two links I have. One is on GHacks, and that's Firefox Nightly. Um, is getting basically all full add-on support. And the reason I say that is there's a possibility you could have loaded Firefox, who is much less corporate friendly than Google, is the way I'll put it. And you might have been able to say, switch my user agent to something else and then run add-ons so you can run third-party video streams. So this might have worked for you, but then it's a question of would you have had like the bandwidth and stuff to stream it smoothly?
I guess I'm not completely following. So
Well,
you'd have a Netflix add-on to Firefox. Is that what?
well, you can get a user agent switcher and then say pretend I'm full-blown desktop Firefox, and then just access it in the browser like you would on your normal desktop.
Okay.
Where Chrome is doing everything in its power to play nice with all of the other people, like letting them know, hey, this is on Android on desktop mode, and then there's other people saying we opt out of letting you play us.
Right. Of course they would do that. Why wouldn't they?
Well, it's in their corporate interest to play nice with all their other corporate shills.
It was great though. I felt like a rock star, like hooking this up, and everybody was there, and I'm like, yeah, check this out. This is my phone, and then just pooped in my pants.
And then another like similar link I'll say on the same vein is Firefox completely rewrites its application from scratch, completely rebuilt it, basically to try to take on Chrome, which I know is kind of like foolhardy, but they have to like try to at least challenge and stay up to date is the logic. Because here's like the truth. For instance, what if you want to run an ad blocker or a add-on that gets rid of YouTube ads? If Chrome is truly the only game in town, then they would immediately block those add-ons from ever working because it goes directly opposed to their business model. Firefox still exists, so if they get too hard about not letting you do ad blockers and not letting you do certain things, the only reason they're not doing it is because Firefox still exists. So I definitely encourage people have multiple browsers installed at all times, and I definitely encourage you to support those who not only support you but don't rake you over the coals with advertising business models where they basically take all of your information and parse it out at a price.
Do you know of any other browsers which are using the Firefox engine?
No.
Yeah.
Nope, just Firefox. Everyone else has went over to a Chromium based that I know of or a WebKit based. The only other browser I like on Android is Smart Cookie, and I believe Smart Cookie uses the old Firefox engine. Can't remember what it's called now, to be honest. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Firefox. I literally go out of my way now to pay them money every month because if they're not there to take on, Edge, aka Chromium, aka Chrome, then nobody will.
No, not at this stage. I mean, who Opera? They going to step up?
Oh, no, I don't trust them either. I think I'll say we have to talk about at least one of the elephants in the room, and that is the LG Wing is actually getting some publicity. It's getting some traction, at least in the blogosphere, is the way that I put it. Of course, this is 2020. It's getting some traction on the YouTube yeet kind of thing. It's interesting is the nicest way I'll put it. There is a link will be in the notes to a guy who basically did a teardown on the LG Wing, and I'm impressed at the fact that he got it apart, but then he got it back together and the damn thing still worked. Um, it's a very interesting phone, but unless they sell a billion of them, and unless everybody making software like supports this unusual hardware style, I can't see this. I can't see anybody trying to do the same kind of thing.
Uh, yeah, I'm so out of the loop, Dora. This is the first time I've ever seen this thing.
Well, and to the listeners, if you haven't seen it, just think the first Iron Man movie and think of Robert Downey Jr. standing in the desert and flipping his phone, and it turned out to be like the shape of a T. Same exact thing. The difference is now the bottom part on his phone, the bottom of the T was a number pad, a physical number pad. The bottom of this is another screen. And I love challenging. I love people like, coming out of like nowhere, doing different forms, different designs, different things just to like challenge the norm. But then I have to also be a realist and think, is anybody else in the universe going to try to do a similar type thing? And I have to think no. And it also has a pop-up camera, by the way. But some of the things they show, how you can have like your navigation on one screen and switching music on the other screen, that kind of idea is cool as hell. Also, I think this thing is insanely, ridiculously, stupidly priced, like ridiculously, like $1,400 price. So I don't think it's going to be successful at all. Partially because it's an LG. When was the last successful LG phone?
Never.
Thank you. Exactly. Good answer. I want to say maybe 2014 or 2013. They had at least a mildly successful phone. The nicest thing I can say is this thing is nifty.
It is, man. It's pretty cool. I mean, I don't have any desire to own it. Well, I mean, that's not true. If someone gave it to me, then I would play around with it. But it's pretty sweet. I like what they've done here. I
Yeah.
like the box it comes with as well.
Yeah.
The box swings around and the bottom comes out like the phone.
Yeah, and there's been some folding news updates and some other phone updates, and they're all interesting. I still don't believe any of them are going to actually be successful. We have the new Moto Droid that was announced. It's literally only $100 cheaper than the last one, which to me just takes it completely off the table. You have the Samsung Flip 2 or whatever, same ridiculous, stupid price. None of them are going to be successful, I believe, either. You have ZTE announced, and I will tell people who think ZTE is like the ghetto phone. Maybe in some respects it is, but in some other respects, they're not. Just because they'll say blackballed in the U.S. Doesn't mean that they're not doing good. They announced that they are launching a phone with the front facing camera is completely US dollars for this phone, which I don't want to say is a fair price, but it seems kind of fair to me.
Oh, it's very, very fair. Yeah, I mean the cameras don't look like they're the greatest, but again, like you were saying, it's nice to see something new. They have it's a very clean looking front screen on it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I can definitely get behind that. At least they're trying to do different things.
I mean,
Um,
it's no LG Wing.
yeah, exactly. We also had some news in very soft way, I'll put it, with the Microsoft Duo. Um, Most people were very underwhelmed by the device. Um, Basically, like it's overpriced. The cameras aren't good. The OS is definitely customized, but not enough to make it a good experience. It is what I'll say. But I know now two people who had it in their hand. One of them was Nightwise, physically had it in his hand, and he said exactly what I expected him to say. He is a very non aggressive fellow, is the way I'll put it. And he said this phone had maybe the best build quality of any phone he's ever had in his hand. And then he said, and after playing with the operating system for a while, it's like the phone I would never buy for the rest of my life. Typical Microsoft fashion. The hardware rocks. The operating system just doesn't cut the mustard. Now, that could easily be fixed with updates. But if anybody is familiar with Microsoft, then you know they're not great at updates on anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. That used to be you'd be buying a Microsoft computer and it would be cheap. And now you look at the
Even the old Microsoft routers before they were called routers um, were actually really good. But yeah, I can't get on board. Now the Neo, I still think is going to be a really interesting device, but that's the best I'll say about it. Interesting. Um, I don't even buy 64 gig micro SD cards for a reason, because everything bigger than 32 gig micro SD card has to be formatted in exFAT, which means a percentage of that price you pay goes directly to Microsoft. So I won't even buy them. And I'm saying nice things about some of this hardware, but you can rest assured I ain't buying it.
I've always wondered about the XFAT, and I mean, there's no workaround.
Well, how can you work around? I mean, I can get it on Linux and I can format drives with exFAT. Fine. But IEEE specifications said by like law, when you buy a license to make a micro SD card, once you go above 32 gigs, it has to be formatted in exFAT, and Microsoft has to get a percentage of that money.
That's criminal.
It's the way stuff works, maybe. I don't know how to put it except for yeah. Sucks. Um, we're only going to do a couple more things of hardware, even though I have like 30 more links. This one I have to bring up only because I bought the original Chromecast. I never bought any of the other ones just because I didn't use them as much
Mhm.
as I thought I would. Partially because I don't really watch much TV or movies unless it's The Castle. Then I watch that every couple weeks. But this one actually has me at least interested, and it's Google's Android TV powered Chromecast. Um, it's basically like been leaked. Sabrina, I believe, is what they're calling it. Yeah, and it's basically the picture is horrible. It's hard to see. It's hard to understand because how dare they make it clear? It's a white device with a white background. So it's like incredibly difficult to even see what this thing is in this image. Let me take a look at the other link I have because I have two of them, I believe. Big money. Well, now it's complete opposite. I'll just put it like this. I love the idea of a standalone remote. That's so even my youngest kid can use it. My youngest kid doesn't have a phone. Okay. I understand in the beginning they had it connected to your phone and your phone was the remote, probably out of a cost savings measure, I'll say. Um, but if I can have a standalone remote with a actual Android based smart TV, I might actually jump on this. And they're saying the price I want to say is like $60 or $80. Only because I want my kid's next gaming console to be in the cloud is the only way I'll put it, because that's where everything's going. Xbox is coming out with the cloud, OS X Cloud. Um, uh, uh, Nvidia has GeForce. Um, um, Epic is supporting the Xbox One. Ubisoft is supporting maybe Stadia, and everyone's believing that you'll be able to run Stadia on this thing, and it'll probably run really good. So I might jump on this. It might take me a couple months after it launches, but I literally might jump on this just for the video gaming for my kids.
Yeah, that's an interesting use case. Um, I also had the first Chromecast, and I have no idea where it is, and I did not use it probably more than 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, it technically worked, but it almost seemed like more work to get it up and running how I wanted it to for like family things. It's insanely easier to just have an old laptop sitting by the TV and putting the video output to the TV.
Yeah, that's basically what I use Chromecast for. That's it. Was uh just to mirror my laptop screen onto the TV. I never even understood what the Chromecast apps and things like that. I never even had any apps for it. But I mean, is this the next iteration of Chromecast then? Is this the way that they're going?
Uh,
Or
I'll
is
say
this just
yes. If I had to put money on it, it's like a convergence is the word I hate to use, but it's a convergence where there will be no more Android TVs and there will be no more Chromecast. Instead, they're going to have a hybrid device that's a little bit of both.
that's probably a good idea on their part.
Yeah, I definitely think it is.
Although then maybe they could spend some of that time that they're not doing on Android TV or Chromecast and actually keep Google up and running.
Well, that, that takes a little bit of time. One more news thing I have to ask you about, because I truly have mixed feelings about this. I'm all in favor of making things more affordable to people who can't afford things. Number one. So I don't want to sit on my high horse and say that this is just flat out pure evil. Because you got to remember, everybody, including people who work for big companies like AT&T, in their mind, cast themselves as the hero and believe they're doing the right thing. But AT&T plans on rolling out cheaper ad-supported phone plans starting next year. So literally, you'll buy a phone from AT&T. AT&T will have root access on that device. They'll be able to tell everything about you. How much you move around, how much you sit idle, where you go, when you go, how you go, what websites you visit, what apps you use, how often you check X, Y, or Z. They literally, if they want to, they could tell you if your phone is close enough to you, how well you sleep, and how well your bowels move, and how often you shower, how often you brush your teeth, and how often you do the giggity giggity. But I would love to think only educated consumers who understand that they're trading off privacy and literally can't afford it otherwise would be the only people who would get this device. But when I saw ad supported, I could see Josh's head like spinning around out of they're doing what?
Well, it's I don't know, Door. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if they want to have that much control, that much power, then guess what? You're giving me the phone, and I'm not paying for the usage of the phone as well. Like the thing about this article that you sent, and I don't, just to make it clear, it's they're going to put ads on your phone. This is what they're saying anyway. They're gonna It's an ad supported phone plan starting next year. So you want me to have ads on my phone? I'm not paying you anything. But what they say here is they're going to load some advertising on it for a $5 to $10 reduction in your mobile bill. Come on now. That's just not going to cut it for me, Dor.
If it was $5 to $10 a month for service, I would have been much more willing
Well, what
to.
are the I don't even know in the States. I know that Canada has the highest cell phone bills in
Oh
the
yeah.
world. It's unbelievable how much money it costs up here to have a cell phone. So I guess it would be what is a typical AT&T plan cost in the States?
Well, down here, people have the nasty habit of getting their phone from the people and paying them off forever. So if you take that out of the equation, which typically that alone is like 20 to $40 a month just for the phone. The cheapest plans I hear are around 30 to 50-ish dollars per phone. If you're on Verizon, you probably pay more because you're on Verizon. Right now, me and my wife, we have my phone, my wife's phone, my oldest kid's phone, my father's phone, and my father-in-law's phone. That's 5 phones. We pay just under $300 a month, where everyone has unlimited call, text, and data. And we don't get throttled until 52 gigs of data a month. Um, so I'm going to say it's pushing $50 is probably the norm, the average, unless you go with one of those senior citizen plans, then you're literally only paying like $20 a month. But yeah, a $5 to $10 reduction is like a spit in the face. That does not sit well with me.
No, it's ridiculous. It is. It's a slap in the face. I mean, that's just them saying, you know what? Nobody cares about their data. No one cares about anything. Here's $5 for advertising.
Yeah.
Outdoor. It's disgusting.
Well, I don't want to say it's what we signed up for, but it kind of is. We're willing to just, pay off, paying everybody more money every month, no matter what. Everything's turning into a service. I'm pretty sure we're going to start to have like the privilege to go grocery shopping is going to soon be a monthly bill, but
Well, there's sorry, I'm getting flustered here. There's so many even paid services that you have that have advertising. Like I pay you a monthly fee so that you can advertise to me.
yeah,
I think I've listened to people's Sirius XM radio or whatever, and there's advertising on that. And like, what? Why are you paying for this? What? I don't know. They get you coming in, they get you going out. They're okay.
yeah, yeah. So I'll just say, is there any more hardware or non-app related news you would like to discuss before we start to go into that?
No, I think that one. I think you put me over the edge on that one, Door.
I'm sorry. Um, well, I have to first bring this app up front because I am a fan, and I literally immediately pulled the trigger and bought this. Um, it's currently $2.99 US dollars. The long and the short of it is, I don't watch really. I'm pushing 50 years old now. I don't watch any fantasy. I don't watch really any drama. I really don't watch any horrors. I don't watch any thrillers. I don't watch any cop dramas. I don't watch any reality TV shows. Every now and then I watch a documentary and sometimes I watch a comedy and that's it. Really, what I watch most of all is educational stuff, which I know is not the popular thing to say. but I digress. There is such a thing that was coined back in, I'm going to probably get the year wrong, 91. The word edutainment, education through entertainment. And I do believe it is one of the futures of mass education will be more edutainment, where you're learning through being entertained as well. To me, this is an example of a company, a website, a series on YouTube that does a fantastic job of not only being educational, but also quite informational and entertaining. It's called Kyrgyzstan, which means in a nutshell. Um, the app is called Universe in a Nutshell from Wait But Why and Kyrgyzstan. Educational. Currently 5.0 is the average reviews. 2,200. Okay, 2,205 reviews. It costs $2.99. They literally have virtually all 5-star reviews. Okay. That's quite rare, is what I will say. It is eligible for the family plan. So if you buy it once, you can share amongst multiple people. It's updated September 23rd, 2020, size 140 megs in size, 10,000 plus installs, current version 1.0.4. Content rating E for everyone. Permissions, I want to say basically nothing, just network access. Yeah, and what it is very high quality animations underneath the spoken word of education. Um, if you want your kid to have some fun while learning, I cannot encourage you enough. This is a fantastic buy. If you can't afford this for your kid, let me know. I'll PayPal you the money. Okay. The only bad part is I couldn't install this on any hardware except my Chromebook Flip, which I believe just fell out of support last month.
This looks great. It's very colorful, that's for sure. It's $4.69 up here in Canada, but yeah, you don't really see that review very often. And it looks like there's maybe one 4-star, and then the rest are all 5s.
Yeah, and quite literally, you can just jump on YouTube, type in Kyrgyzstan. That is KURZGESAGT. It is, you can literally sit there for like 6 hours and just go through all of their videos. And I guarantee you, every video they have on there, you will learn something from it. The one I love, had to show my kids, was basically, it was an adaptation of a short story from, I believe it was the 1960s, called The Egg. And that's all I'll say. Fantastic little thing they have there. And of course, a side tangent. The revolving door is now up to, I want to say, episodes 170, maybe. Everything I subscribe to and watch, I'm not through the podcast audio yet, but once I get through the podcast audio, a couple of people asked me if I could then go through my YouTube subscriptions, and Kyrgyzstan is one of the ones that I do subscribe to. So I will be talking about them in a little bit more detail in the future.
Nice. Well, that's a glowing endorsement. Endorsement.
Endorsement.
I like it. That's fantastic.
It definitely works.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
This is called Leaf Snap Plant Identification by a Pixie under education. And it has not quite 5 stars, but it has 4.7 average reviews out of 7,836. And it's 19 megs in size. It was updated September 12th, current version 1.3.8. And it has in-app products of $549 to $26.99, 1 million plus installs. Requires Android 4.3 and up. And it is exactly what it says it is. And we had in our garden, it's kind of coming to the end of the growing season, and a plant just popped up after we had pulled out some other plants. And at first I thought it was a potato, and then I thought it was a tomato plant, and then it started getting these little black berries on it, which
Huh.
the kid started grabbing and putting in his mouth. So
Oh.
decided to try to figure out what this thing actually was, and used this app, took a picture of the leaf, and it actually came up straight away
Hmm.
with what it was. It was some sort of nightshade that
Oh.
you're not supposed to
No,
necessarily.
you ain't.
So we pulled that one out.
See, see, and after you said, I thought it was a potato, I thought your next line was going to say, and then I thought it was a potato, but you know.
So yeah, it worked. I've actually only used it on that one plant. And that was last week, I think, but it was, I was actually quite amazed because you look at a leaf as a leaf as a leaf, and this went straight to what it was. I've brought spider identification apps before that it's a little bit of digging before you actually find what you're looking for, but this seemed to be very, very accurate.
Well, my dumb question is, did you even attempt to use Google Lens for giggles?
No, I did not.
I've had mixed success with Google Lens as well. Sometimes I'm shocked at how quick it works and how well it identifies things. And then other times I think to myself, what in the hell do they think it's looking at? I mean, you know, sometimes it's really horrifically bad is the way that I'll put it.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll give that a shot as well and see what, compare the two.
Okay.
But but yeah, this was, I'd recommend this as a way. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of an identification type person. Mushrooms, spiders, plants.
Hey, the more you know, the better. Um, I'm gonna get serious for a second, or as my youngest son would say, serious. Um, okay, this is why I'm bringing it up. One of the assignments he had in his virtual learning was he had to watch three of the following. Pick three videos out of the like 9 of them. Um, Tell me who the person is, what the person had to overcome, and then how did they overcome it. And I saw some familiar faces and some uh, familiar names in the list. And then the very one, first off, who the hell would put The Rock as the last one? Okay, there's something wrong with you. But the last one was The Rock. So my son said, "Oh, The Rock, I'll watch that one." I had to stand up and walk away because The Rock said what his adversity he had to overcome was depression. Because when he was 14, he watched his mother try to commit suicide. Hard stop. Excuse me? I never, and I'm thinking to myself, look, if he can witness that and turn out to be him, my problems are minimal compared to that. Um, and he said he overcame them with communication. He said the worst thing you can do when you feel depressed, when you feel lonely, when you feel isolated is not to communicate with people. Um, Honestly, that's part of the reason why I am at all sane, because I can once in a while hop on, talk to Josh, talk to Brett, talk to Liam, talk to Rich, talk to Bruce, talk to all these other people and hang out and chat, even talk to like Charles in Discord or thing, because it helps. Every bit of communication helps. Don't believe me, believe Dwayne the Rock Johnson, okay? So the app I'm going to bring is literally called Sightly Overcome Social Anxiety, because if you're having a hard time communing with people, I'm going to bet it stems from social anxiety. Even though most people aren't leaving their house, that doesn't mean you cannot suffer from social anxiety. Okay, period. I know this for a fact, is the way that I put it. It's called Slightly overcome social anxiety by a very weird named company under health and fitness, E for everyone, no in app purchases, no ads, completely free to download and install. No rating on it because there's not enough downloads, is what I'm going to say. Updated August 18th, 2020, 47 megs in size, 10 plus installs, current version 0.0.9. Requires 4.1 Android and up. Content rating E for everyone. Permissions. It does need photo, media, storage, camera, Wi-Fi connection, some network access. Run it startup. I will just put it like this: if you want to share links to Android app addicts to your friends and family, that's fantastic. But what I am asking everyone to do is to do something selfless and just randomly drop links like to an app like this to groups of people. You don't have to point out any one person and say, here, this app is for you. Just randomly drop links like this and say, if anyone out there is feeling any extra anxiety in social environments, like I have a kid with an autoimmune disease. So let's just say when I go to the doctor's office, I'm slightly paranoid. Drop apps like this in people's streams and let them see it. Because the number one thing is there's nothing wrong with compassion, empathy, and support for people around you. And this is, to me, a fantastic way you can do it.
Definitely. Yeah, it seems like we bring apps every once in a while that are I mean, this one's under health and fitness, but for, mental issues that people might be having. So what I'm seeing is it's tools and guidance basically for social anxiety and mental health.
Yeah, it like gives you tips and gives you like simple goals to take baby steps to try to, I don't want to say get over them or get past them or whatever, but challenge them head on. You know, that's the only way you're going to get over something. I had an incredibly bad speech disfluency for 30 years of my life where I couldn't say 3 words without sounding like what some people would call a mental invalid. Until I got to the point where I didn't care what people thought anymore is when I just miraculously, in air quotes, stopped stuttering, which of course, if you listen closely to the show, I stutter all the time, but nothing like I used to.
No, I mean it's 1,000 times difference just from listening to. I mean, I've listened to. I think some of your first podcasts were Linux for the Rest of Us, and from there to now is night and day. I just had an idea, which I guess that's a long way of saying that I'm impressed with you, Dor, and I'm happy to call you my friend.
Thank you, man. And I will go back. Swift did mention it. I have actually heard of people grafting potatoes and tomatoes together. He is actually right. I can't remember the podcast, or else I would mention it. I want to say it might have been Curiosity Daily, might have been the podcast where they were talking about the Simpsons were right. The Simpsons had an episode where they took tobacco and tomatoes and grafted them together. Well, nightshade, potatoes, tomatoes, and tobacco, I believe it was, were all basically part of the same family where you can literally graft them together to make other kinds of plants. So when you say potato and nightshade, you weren't far off, is
Right.
what I'll say. It's like saying you identified somebody as a Kennedy and they're not that Kennedy, but they are a Kennedy. You know what I mean?
Well, this summer we planted a few fruit trees, and one of them is a peach. What is it? Peach, nectarine, and apricot tree.
Wow.
So they just grafted all 3 of them together, and so we'll see how that goes.
Very cool.
I was wondering as well. Do you know of any apps that or along the same lines as this Sightly app, and I guess it would be kind of a combination of this one and Be My Eyes, I believe it's
Mm,
called,
yeah, yeah.
where you can anonymously put in questions or concerns, or just sort of vent a little bit, and then have people listen to it, and maybe some people could offer suggestions, or just a little bit of, hey, it's going to be all right.
I know that there was at least one. Um, if I just search for Google Play, a anonymous mental health. I see at least 3 or 4 of them, and I believe the one that might have been it was Talk Life, all one word. I'll see if I can find you a good one for the next show, because yeah, I will say, I even said to my doctor, I said the hardest thing about me isn't like admitting to myself what's wrong, which a lot of people don't do. But it's admitting it to somebody else, a third person. So anonymous type of thing would definitely help. And the long and the short of it is, mental health is now so broadly defined. Everybody in the United States suffers from some thing. Now, it's most of them are not debilitating. Okay, there's a big difference. Okay, it's like saying you have a cold but you can go to work, or you have cancer and you're at stage 4. They're both sicknesses, but there's definite grades between them. I'll see what I can find.
Well, I was having that conversation today, as a matter of fact, about the spectrum, and it's true. It doesn't matter if you're in the United States or anywhere else. If it is a spectrum, you're on it somewhere.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. My mom almost fist fought people when I was a kid because people wanted to medicate me, and my mom said, "Look, he's not perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect, but he's not so messed up. He does need the drugs." Which I'll say now that I'm nearly 50, maybe I did, and maybe she was overprotective, but she had her best intent in mind, is the way I'll put it.
No, I'm positive that if they would have been giving out pills like they give them out now, I definitely would have been on something
Oh
during
yeah.
grade school.
Oh yeah. So do you have any more apps?
I do. I just put it into
Oh,
the chat,
sweet.
which we are live. We'd like to say every Thursday, but hasn't been as consistent. But come out to YouTube chat, and
Oh yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
definitely a good time. This one, you had one of the articles that you had sent me a link to. I had already picked this to go over tonight, but it was in the 5 best SSH and FTP clients, and it is called ConnectBot. And so before, I was using Juice SSH, and it wasn't working properly, and I can't remember exactly what the issue was, but I wasn't happy with it. I don't know if it was a change or if I just started to try to use functionality that it didn't contain. But I went looking for another SSH client for Android and came across ConnectBot by Kenny Root under communication. Has an average of 4.4 reviews out of 44,263, and it just does the job. And it's an open source SSH client, and you can store all of your connections, and it does a really good job of keeping that connection alive. And it's yeah, this is my go-to SSH client for Android now.
Oh yeah. And to paraphrase John Mad Dog Hall, sometimes software isn't updated because they got it right. And this to me is a perfect example. ConnectBot is one of those unbelievably solid SSH clients. Now, don't get me wrong. Juice, I like the features and the functionality, but 80% of the features I never use. Where ConnectBot just does what it's supposed to do. It connects you via SSH. Hasn't been updated since November 12th, 2019. Because it probably doesn't need to be, is the way I put it. I've used it more than a couple times. I'll say on a tablet with a full-blown keyboard, it might as well be as smooth as you are literally logged into a computer.
Yeah, I didn't know that I would use SSH on Android as much as I have, but it's a very convenient on the go SSH client.
Absolutely agree. And the article was on False Mint 5 best SSH and FTP Android apps for Linux. Hard stop. If you're using FTP outside of your own network, you might as well just dance the jig nude on your front lawn, because nothing about FTP is safe. Nothing about FTP is secure. Now, if you're in your trusted domain and you stand up an FTP server just because it's simple, just to put stuff back and forth on, you're fine. But never should you have FTP public facing. I had to say that. So the first one they mention is Terminus.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's actually a Telnet client as well. So
right. I say I like this app, but Charles in Discord did remind me that they have a ridiculous in-app purchase model where if you buy everything, it costs you $100 friggin' dollars. Okay.
per year it says.
Yeah, per year. Thank you. There's nothing on Android I've ever had in my life that's worth $100 a year. I just gotta say that.
What does this do? What's
All the
why?
add-ons are for like extra functionality like Telnet, and you can like store your credentials in the cloud. It's not worth it, is the way I'll put it. Then you have Juice SSH client, which is maybe one of the better looking SSH clients on Android. It's really tablet friendly. It works in the phone, but it's very tablet friendly is the way that I put it. Then you have mobile SSH, which I never heard of, which looks like it hasn't been updated since 2012. The box, the very first screenshot is literally from Gingerbread. Okay. Then we have SSH/SFTP/FTP/Telnet advanced client. This looks like hot garbage. I just got to say it. And then number 5, they have ConnectBot. I firmly believe ConnectBot should have been in the upper half of clients, not the lower half.
Yeah, I would tend to agree now. Although I haven't, the only other one I've used on this list is Juice, but I would put ConnectBot above Juice even now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just works, is the way I put it. There's no confusing. There's nothing hard to understand. It just works. This next one I want to bring because I haven't tried it yet. I really want to find an excuse to try it. This is called, I think, Cubasys, 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 LE3 trial. They fully, in the name, tell you this is a trial version. Music studio and audio editor from Steinberg Media Technologies from the UK. Music and audio, only 28 reviews. No in-app purchases, no ads. To get the full version, you have to buy a separate application, is the way I put it. 3.2 average reviews out of 28 reviews. That is not stellar. I will say that. Updated August 14th, 2020, 66 megs in size, 1,000 plus installs. Current version 3.1.2 requires 8.0 Android up. Content rating E for everyone. Permissions, it's going to need a lot of permissions. Microphone location, don't know why it needs location. Photo storage, network access, yada yada. The long and the short of it is, this appears to me to be a very full-featured audio DAW, a digital audio workstation on Android. There's no doubt this would be much better on a Chromebook or on a tablet versus on your phone, but it's still, I think, very dynamic and very interesting looking. My kids both have some kind of music class where, since it's virtual learning, one of the things they have is on their Chromebook and laptop, they have keypads. They're digital, like MIDI players, where they're asked to do some amount of work. And this has a digital keypad in it, to where my oldest son, seemed to actually enjoy that class. So I was really tempted to look at this and see if this is the kind of thing that he would like. Because I do randomly walk into a room all quietly and I hear him singing to himself. So I'm not going to say he's the next P. Diddy. But maybe, I don't know, maybe he could at least find some way to express himself via music. So I will be looking at this one. The full blown version of it, $54.99 US.
Wow.
So we're going to guess in Canduadia, that's like 80 something dollars.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Of those 28 reviews, it looks like a lot of them are 1 star as well.
Well, I'll say it could just be people that are mad. I don't know. The $55 version has 119 reviews, average 4.1. Now, there is a cognitive bias that states once you pay for something, then you inherently believe it's better than it actually is. So maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I hate saying that. I'm not going to lie. I was really tempted to ping these guys and say, hey, why don't you give me a free license of this so I can test it out for my show? But I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. Android 8 and up, too, kind of cutting out quite a large section there.
I concur.
All right. Well, it definitely looks full featured. I don't know much about DAW, but it has lots of buttons and knobs.
Twisty knobs too.
Okay, well, to counteract your super complicated looking app, I will bring one that is the opposite of that. And for you, Ivor, if you're listening, this is called "It's Literally Just Mowing," and it's by Protostar Casual. Is sorry, it's Protostar, and then it's under the casual listing, and it has 4.4 average reviews out of 19,411, and it only requires Android 5 and up, and it's 85 megs, and it was just updated September 10th, 2020, current version 1.8, and it is literally just mowing. Never has there been a more apropos title to an app. And you can you mow lawns, and you drive around and you find the best way to mow the lawn, and then you collect trucker hats and upgrade your mower and all the things you do in every single game that is similar to this one. And that's it, man. If you want to just sit and if you want to sit and mow a lawn on your phone, this may be the app for you.
Yeah, I mean, the way I describe this is, trust me, I'll tell you now, there's an audience for this, and here's the reason why. I got shared a link. I don't have it on me. To where else? Japan, where they have a robot, in air quotes, that was restocking store shelves. But the gimmick was there's a guy sitting in another room with a VR headset on and with 2 hand controllers on, where he's manipulating the robot from a distance to restock the store shelves. And some guy was like, this is amazing. And then I showed him a link to a Steam game called Job Simulator, to which I said, look, and they're even providing training for it as well. Because my son loves Job Simulator. Where literally he is like sitting there with his VR headset, and I see him doing this with like both hands. And I'm like, what are you doing? Dad, I'm trying to concentrate. I got to be a sous chef and I got to hurry up. So he's like chopping food up and stuff, and he loves the game. So apparently he's being well trained to be in the next workforce remotely stocking shelves. So there are people who will literally want to just mow as well, I'm sure.
What VR headset does he have?
They have the cheap Oculus Quest. I want to say it is. And the new Oculus 2 is coming out early October, and I want to say it's 200 and change. I can't remember. It was cheaper than I thought it was going to be. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I've still never used a VR headset.
Both of my kids have one. I have literally zero desire to put it on my face, partially because I only have like monovision. Whenever I saw like a 3D movie in the theater, it wasn't 3D for like most of the time. Then all of a sudden, like 3D would like snap in and then it would snap away right back out. So I'm not a fan of 3D movies, and the impression I get is because of my mono something vision. I can't remember what it's called. I wouldn't enjoy VR as well.
I don't think I've ever watched a 3D movie. I know just I've never 3D glasses and regular vision glasses just don't have never been symbiotic in my life.
Gotcha. The next one I'm going to bring, I will say it comes with a disclaimer, and I'll save the disclaimer for the end. This app is called Medito, Medito, free meditation, sleep, and mindfulness. From Medito for mindfulness, meditation, and sleep under, again, health and fitness. 2,332 reviews, E for everyone, currently 4.7 reviews. That's actually a pretty good score for that number of reviews. Updated September 11th, 2020, 48 megs in size, 100,000 plus installs. Current version 1.0.40, requires 6.0 Android and up. That's a lot of devices. Content rating E for everyone. Permissions, basically it just needs full network access and preventing the device from sleeping. Now, I want people to hopefully catch on to some consistencies that keep happening over and over again. When apps don't require ads and don't have in-app purchases, seem to me that they seem to have a higher rate of basically needing no permissions at all. So there is definitely some correlation between wanting money from you or to shove ads in your face and needing more permissions. Okay. So basically, this is a free forever, they guarantee free forever app with absolutely no ads, very simple design to help you in meditation, mindfulness, which they're kind of the same thing, and like sleep tracking and managing stress and anxiety. I truly believe, like for instance, on my diet, when I did the best on my diet in air quotes was when I recorded it in my calorie app, because literally like putting it down on a virtual piece of paper, recording what I was doing, made me more aware of what I was eating. Okay. I do believe the same kind of philosophy can exist. If you think about feeling better, if you think about being better behaved, if you think about sleeping better, if you think about being less stressful, if you think about being more happy, I do believe it is more likely to happen. The mind truly does have the power to control all. And this is a very, very simple, easy, free way for you to insert it into your daily life and not constantly doom scroll through Facebook.
I tend to agree with that as far as, I mean, not so far. Well, who knows? I mean, there was that time not so long ago when the Secret, that book, was a big thing, and that I believe the basis of that is also basically you try to will into existence what you want from the world.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, I still don't have a Tesla, but I think that you can. It's more maybe an energy of positivity versus negativity, which will then, like you said, create better sleep and mindfulness. So if this app or any other app can help you get to that state, then yeah, good on them. And what I like about this one as well, it's actually in their logo where it says 100% free,
Yeah.
and they make it well stated that it will be free forever.
Yeah.
So, and I totally see the correlation, like you said, between trying to get your money and permissions that they're trying to get from you. You can tell when a company is just trying to help and when a company is just trying to free you from your overloaded wallet.
Yeah. And like the way I'll put it is studies have proven that if you have like a buzzer on your wrist every hour that says smile and you smile, you will literally believe you're happier. Thus, you'll be happier. Um, I also believe meditation is a complete crock, which is why it doesn't work for me because I don't believe it. If you believe in meditation and then you do meditation, there's no doubt you'll see more positive benefits from it. Now, the disclaimer is I despise people out there using their celebrity status to push mindfulness application subscription models that they swear works better than another one, which just goes to show you they don't understand what meditation is because no one will work better than another one because it's all in your mind. Okay. So if you go into this application, if you go into Medito, Medito, believing this is the best meditation app that's ever existed, and you believe in meditation, this will indeed be the best meditation app you've ever used in your life. Okay. I beg people, if you want to buy those celebrities subscription models for meditation, do it to support the celebrities. Don't do it because you believe you're getting something special out of their meditation apps because you're not. Now, if you don't know who James Randi is, go ahead, pause this. Just look up the James Randi Foundation. Go look what he stood for. Go look what he meant. Because I'm going to tell you right now, 99.9999999% of celebrities pushing meditation apps are literally just scammers who are better looking and talk smoother. That's the sad truth of it. So why not save your money, spend it on someone you love, spend it on someone you care about, buy Josh some liquor or something, and save your money on meditation apps and use one of these because I guarantee right now it works just as well.
Or a Tesla.
Or Tesla. Oh, did you hear about Nikola?
No.
Okay, somebody created a car company called Nikola, and they're basically trying to steal the rub from Tesla. And he took video of his semi truck battery powered going down the road, and it turns out they were able to figure out it was literally rolling down a hill because the damn thing didn't work. And I do believe the CEO founder was arrested last week for basically fraud.
Awesome. I mean, you got to give them credit for trying.
Well, look, every business plan, every businessman has a touch of corruption and lying underneath whatever they're selling. Some people are able to, in the end, put together a final product and actually sell it, while some of them just, can't make it that far.
I do have one question for you though. After that is, why don't you believe in meditation?
Oh, honestly, I believe it stems from a self-confidence issue. I don't believe I have the power in me to make the changes myself. Just
But I
like
don't.
if I didn't have a wife and kids, I'm pretty sure I'd be dead. I think the
Yeah,
thing keeping me alive, keeping me going to work every day is they expect it out of me. My wife wants to go on vacations. My kids want Oculus Quest. Um, I don't go to work for myself.
but as far as meditation goes, though, it's not. That's all you. That is a looking inside of yourself. And don't get me wrong, I'm no magi or yogi or anything else, and I don't meditate either. But I and that's because I'm a weak person. But I can see it being one of the most beneficial uh, activities that a person can do in their life. And I know people that have changed their life through meditation. And I don't know where I'm going with this door, but
No, I absolutely agree with you, but it's like quitting smoking cigarettes. You have to want to do it yourself. You have to convince yourself that you need to do it. And with meditation, I believe it has to start with you believing that you can change yourself, kind of thing. And
well, I think that it's more of just taking the baby steps of understanding what meditation is and how to do it, because it's actually looking inside of yourself. And I guess I would compare it to maybe a psychedelic trip where
right,
your mind goes to some place that doesn't exist in a natural realm, or in a standard realm, and you start solving issues that way.
right. And really quick, to Swift in the chat. From what I believe, Think Thank Thought KDE Connect is an application you can run on a Linux desktop where you can get like notifications from your phone down to your desktop and send like clipboard contents from your desktop up to your phone. Um, SSH is just like a command shell. You can do graphics to it too, but it's literally like opening a command line, but instead of it being on your computer, it's on the remote computer. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, here's one of the reasons I don't like meditation, because every time I'm quiet and I stop and I think, I get depressed. So that's like part of the reason why sometimes I listen to 36 plus hours of podcast a day. So I don't have to stop and think about stuff.
But that's the one of the main points of yoga, is to not think. That in order, as far as I understand, in order to be able to meditate, you need
Mhm.
to stop thinking,
Right.
which is a difficult thing for anyone.
Empty your brain, empty your thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have any more apps there, Josh?
I do. So this is called Push by Rainbow Train, and it's under puzzle, and it's rated E for everyone. Has average of 4.0 reviews out of 985, and requires, well, its current version 1.2, 100,000 plus installs, and it was updated August 7th, 2019. Android 4.1 and up, 58 megs in size. And it's just a fun little puzzle game with pretty nice graphics, and you push buttons, things happen. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's available for the family library, and it just gets increasingly difficult. And you try to match symbols, and it's usually a cube based item, and it starts to rotate, and you have to solve how to push all the buttons.
Hmm. Well, my wife tells me I'm good at pushing her buttons, so maybe this is the game I need to get. I really do like the visual style. It's hard to describe except almost like foggy whiteness, where behind that like fogginess, whiteness is actually looks like some really crisp graphics. And they're all, yeah, I don't want to say logic based puzzles, but that's the only way I can like think to describe this. Where there is a method behind the patterns, you got to figure out the patterns.
Yeah, it's definitely pattern based, and it is quite visually stimulating. So, I mean, there's 100,000 games out there
Oh yeah,
that are similar, but this is one that I found quite entertaining for a bit of time.
I definitely can see why. And it's only 99 cents in the US, which if you haven't got 99 cents in your Google Opinion Rewards account, I don't know what you're doing. Because quite literally, here's how you can, oh man, I don't want to say scam it because that's not cool to do, but literally just drive up to the parking lot of a fancy restaurant, sit there for 30 seconds, and then leave. And then drive up to another business's parking lot for like 30 seconds and then leave. And within an hour, you'll get a question about one of them where it will at least pay you like 50 cents. Well, at least 20 cents is what I'll say. And then do that a couple times a week, and then you'll have some free money.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work the same here, at least not for me. I don't travel outside of the house much to begin with,
Right.
but for one, most of any of the quizzes, the polls end up with a 10-cent reward, and then I really don't get that many at all. And usually they're never about any place that I've visited. They're about what is your education level? What
Right.
are there children in your house? And all these things. Like, well, I mean, for one, you already know this because I've answered the same question 117 times. For two, get out of my life. Like, what you want me to review a product or a location, a restaurant, a store, something like that? Fine, but what really? What?
Well, you have to first go there. The more urban you are in, the more you'll benefit from this application, is the way I'll put it. And I'll say, I use Google, okay, Schmoogle, probably 4 to 5 times a day. And at least once a week, I get a question about how was I satisfied with the statement? Did it meet my needs? What do I like or don't like about the OK Schmoogle process? And that's typically a 50 center.
Wow.
Um, but it's one of those things you got to be willing to give a little to get a little is my logic. Um, okay, this one I got to bring only because I really want to use this app more, is the way I put it. Um, everyone gets into ruts with cooking to where you end up cooking the same, 5 or 6 dishes over and over and over and over and over again. Um, I'm not a fan of the services like HelloFresh or any of them because I ordered them for like 3 months and I'm not green, okay, at all. Okay. I might be Irish, but I'm not a green person. The amount of trash that came with those things blew my mind. I was floored at the amount of trash that came with those things. So I'd rather just buy it myself, cut it myself, prep it myself, cook it myself, kind of thing. This one I believe I would pronounce Saucy, SOSY. Recipes, food, and nutrients kitchen assistant by One on One BV. It's under food and drink. E for everyone, completely free, no in-app ads, no in-app purchases. And I got in almost a little shouting match on Reddit with application developers who have in-app purchases, and then in the description don't tell you what the in-app purchase is for. And I tell them that that is very shady way to do business. And they try to tell me, well, it's the same way everybody else does it. Do you think we can live today by offering an app and offering a service and not charge for it? And I'm like, yes, I see people do it all the time. Don't tell me you can't do it. Here's another example. Um, okay, now that I got that out of my system, no reviews because it's literally that fresh. Updated August 31st, 2020, 9.7 megs in size, 10 plus installs, current version 1.0. Requires 4.1 Android up, content rating E for everyone. Permissions, it does need some permissions. Photo, media, storage, camera, microphone, other. Um, there's a reason behind some of these, like camera, photos, and media. You can add your own pictures to the recipe to show them how it turned out for you. The microphone, you would think you would need it so you can record audio comments or something. No. If you actually go in the description, it says now you can ask Saucy for jokes and trivia because why not?
Oh,
So basically, while you're cooking, you have the app open. You can be looking at the ingredient list, and while you're waiting for this thing to simmer for 15 minutes, you can have it tell you a joke, kind of thing. I did have a back and forth with this developer as well on Reddit, and this developer seemed like an unbelievably nice, straightforward person. So this is the kind of app I want to promote when I can. The real reason is, um, like for instance, when I eat guacamole, I like buying these little tiny 59-gram serving size containers because it's regimented, it's measured. I know the exact nutrients in that thing. Okay. So I know at the end of the day what my calorie count is, what my fat count is, what my protein count is, and what my carb count is. So I can try to make sure I'm hitting that 86% number for my keto diet. I like the fact that this gives you literal nutrition information up front in every recipe. It seems like most recipe things that I find, when they give you nutrient information, it's never like robust, is the way I put it. It's never verbose. It's always like all it says is like 300 calories and nothing else. I'm like, no. I need more information than that. So this one to me gave some of the best information I found in a recipe app, and I was able to find one or two things that I shot to my wife to wear this weekend when we go shopping. We're going to pick up a couple extra things and see how it turns out.
yeah, this looks like a really good recipe app. What I do like as well at the bottom, towards the bottom of the description, it says now Saucy can help you find substitutions for food items, because that is one thing that I spend quite a bit of time on, is that there will be some sort of random ingredient or even maybe an ingredient you're out of. And so you want to find something that is similar. And, if it can do that at the same time, more power to you. I just downloaded it and I'll give it a whirl.
Very cool. And the other thing that my wife liked about it was when I showed her, it also says that they are attempting to pair foods with wines as well.
Nice.
Yeah. And if you're married to me, you're going to drink something. She drinks wine. So yeah, I thought that was another plus. And again, I said this years ago. Okay. If you download an application with 1 million downloads and then you don't like something about the app and then you contact the developer and then you're shocked the developer doesn't even answer you, much less fix what you were saying or address what you're saying. That's what happens when you try to like contact them, big boys, and try to ask for changes. You contact one-on-one BV with a recommendation, a question, or insight with 10 plus installs. I'm going to tell you right now, that person will answer you quickly with vigorous passion at the simple fact that A, you downloaded their app. They'll be thankful. 2, you took the time to write them an email. My God, you must care. And 3, they want to know how you personally feel like everything could be better. So if you want to help make a recipe app better, if you've downloaded recipe apps in the past and you've realized they've sucked, download this one, give it a shot. And if it equally sucks, you contact them, you let them know how to make it better. I guarantee you they will take it into heavy consideration.
Yeah, it's good advice, Dor. Do you have any more apps you would like to bring?
There was at least one or two. While I speak quite slow, I'm going to take a look at least this one here. Okay, this one is called Walkie Tooth. Again, Walkie Tooth. Okay, hypothetically, me and Josh are in Antarctica. We don't have no internet, and we don't even have Wi-Fi. We don't have a router, but we want to communicate with each other over some platform. So you can install. So we could both get a copy of the APK for Walkie Tooth by Massimino Milano, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's under Communications App, 2,159 reviews. It does contain ads. There is no in-app purchases. Completely free to install. 4.2 average reviews. Updated October 31st, 2019. 4.3 megs in size. 500,000 plus installs. Current version 1.6.3. You only need Android 4.4 and up. That's beautiful. Content rating E for everyone. Permissions, it's going to need location, camera, microphone, Wi-Fi, others. You can basically walkie-talkie over Bluetooth. That's basically the gist of it. You can walkie-talkie, you can send pictures. If you want, you can actually turn your phone also into like a Wi-Fi hotspot. It says you can do Wi-Fi direct communication if you guys are further apart than just Bluetooth length. So you can have completely private, off the grid, walkie-talkie type communications. Dare I say, Voxer-like communications.
Great. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
The range. I was just looking at the range for Bluetooth.
Well, it depends on your own device, is what I'll say. Some devices have further ranges than others. I will tell you this. Sometimes I leave my phone down here in my ground floor about 3.5 feet up off the floor. Okay. First ceiling is 7 foot. Next ceiling is 10 foot. And I can be on the like third floor of my house, ground, first floor, second floor. So the second floor of my house, and I can still have a Bluetooth connection. And I'm shocked.
Yeah, and that's without any line of sight. So I mean, looking at a tertiary look here, it says that with Bluetooth 5, you can have up to 400 meters.
Wow.
Yeah, which seems, I mean, I don't know.
Crikey.
I don't know if that's coming off a phone.
Well, the throughput then has to be really. I do know with Bluetooth, you have the inverse square law. The closer you are, the faster communications can travel. So if you're that far away, you're going to get a very slow trickle of data. I have to bring this one as well, only because a really nice guy on Discord, who I believe is in Denmark, might be in Copenhagen. It might be completely wrong about both of them, but he's a nice guy either way. He sent me this link, made sure that I remembered this one. I do think we brought this one years ago to the show, but I wanted to bring it back only because it is on sale right now. It's called Folder Sync Pro, Tacit, TACIT. Dynamics is the application, communications app, E for everyone. 20,000 reviews. Currently on sale, almost half price, $2.99 US dollars. 4.1 average reviews. It is family eligible. Updated September 18th, 2020. 85 megs in size. 100,000 plus installs. Current version 3.0.17. Android 6.0 and up, which ain't bad at all. Content rating, again, E for everyone. Permissions, it's going to need locations, photo, media, storage, Wi-Fi, network, things like that. Because what this has the ability to do is to connect to a multitude, a insane amount of sources, whether it be Amazon S3, Box, CloudMe, Dropbox, Google Drive, H Drive, Lime Drive, Mega, My Drive, MyCollab, NetDocuments, OneDrive for Business, OwnCloud, pCloud, Storage, SugarSync, WebDE, Yandex Disk, and actually it can connect with Nextcloud as well. And what it can do is you can connect to all those services, or you can connect via FTP, FTPS, FTPES, SFTP, Samba1, CIF, Windows Share, Samba 2, WebDAV, and you can sync between them and have things automatically kept up to date. So you can connect to all those different services and say, keep those folders in sync with my local Android folder automatically.
I'm sharing my screen door. Look at the top. This is from Folder Sync Pro, the top folder there.
Oh, yeah.
AAA.
That's not an accident, I guess.
So this is using FTP as well. So we're bringing all sorts of FTP.
Well, it supports FTP, yes. Yeah, so I mean, if you want to be able to take multiple types of cloud sync services and link them up and have your phone have everything available to it at any point in time, it really is hard to beat something like Folder Sync Pro. I bought it in the past. I just have it in my library just in case I need it. For now, the Nextcloud app is doing everything I need it to, so I don't have it installed.
Hypothetically, then using this, can you back up every one of them to each other?
Yes, you can say, keep my Nextcloud synced up to me, and then keep this folder synced with my OneDrive. Yes.
Oh, that's very handy. And it
Yeah,
looks like
and
it's quite an extensive list of supported providers as well.
oh yeah. And I'll say the best part is it's literally a one-time fee. There is no service plan. There is no never-ending cycle of paying them money. You literally just pay it once and you can literally, and it's almost rsync like, into where you can say run it on a schedule. You can say every 5 minutes or every 5 hours. You can say um sync my folder remotely to them, sync that folder remotely to me, or both ways bidirectional, keep the folders synced up together. So hypothetically, I could say sync that remote folder to my folder. But then if stuff gets deleted from that remote folder, it does not get deleted from my local phone. There's lots of little tips, tweaks you can do inside this application that really, I have no problem saying, is better than most desktop synchronization apps. You know?
Nice. Cool. It's a good tool.
Yep, and I will say, I did, um, share publicly the Patreon link this week for all of the, in air quotes, links in the queue. So if you want to see a list of at least 60 news articles and apps, you can check that on patreon.com/Android App Addicts. And I'll say it like this: if you're listening to an Android show and they start to divulge content towards other things, like they go into an hour's worth of console gaming, or they go into like some other realm and they're claiming it's because they don't have, there's not enough Android stuff to talk about. Let me assure you, they must be on crack, they're incompetent at their job, or they just don't pay attention. There is insane amounts of news. The apps never stop. I have enough links. There's no doubt we could have missed no episodes, and every episode would have been more than an hour, chock full of news, hardware, articles, updates, Chrome OS and Android news. Uh, just keeps going and going and going is what I'll say. So,
Humor.
and some humor, where it can fit in, kind of thing. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Agreed. And hopefully we'll be able to do it sooner than 6 weeks. So going over the said Android apps that we've gone over tonight, we'll start with Universe in a Nutshell by Wait But Why and Kurzgesagt. Man, Dora, you're the worst for coming up with these things. Under Education, Leaf Snap Plant Identification by a Pixie, also under Education. Sightly Overcome Social Anxiety by 11361783 Canada Limited, under Health and Fitness. ConnectBot by Kenny Root under communication. Cubasis LE3 Trial, music studio and audio editor by Steinberg Media Technologies GmbH under music and audio. It's literally just mowing by Protostar under casual. Medito, free meditation, sleep and mindfulness by Medito for mindfulness, meditation, and sleep under health and fitness. KDE Connect by KDE Community. Push by Rainbow Train under puzzle. Saucy recipes, food and nutrients, kitchen assistant, one-on-one BV under food and drink. Walkie Tooth by Massimo Milazzo under communication, and Folder Sync Pro by Tacit Dynamics under communications. So that is 11, one of which was brought through the chat where by Swift. So everyone that's listening should come out to the chat on Thursday evenings.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll say again, if you want to know when we're going live, there's multiple ways you can do it. You can either go to YouTube, just search for Android App Addicts, and subscribe. And if you click the bell, you get harassing notifications of when things happen. Or you can follow us on Twitter or on Facebook, or you could join our Discord groups. There is a channel in Discord literally called Self Promotion, where I encourage other people to do things, to create content, whether it's a blog posting or whatever, and post it in there. Because again, this is not a door geek thing. This is not a high and mighty speaking down to people. This is a community driven thing first and foremost. Everyone who comes out is a part of the community. Even if they believe in wild and crazy things, because we all secretly believe in something wild and crazy that other people think, how can you believe that? That's just human life. That's just the way we are. What's the easiest way for people if they want to catch up with you there, Josh?
Um,
Caught you off guard with that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, just send emails. But I don't know. It's been so long, man.
I know. They can
What's
send us voicemails, 7076 Podnut, or just use a speech notes apps on your phone, record some audio, send it in. You can send the email into aaa@podnutz.com. If you want to send communication information to the network itself, it's mail@podnutz.com. And if you want to email me directly, it's doorgeek@gmail.com. Just like I said earlier, communication is the key to just feeling better. The other study I want to say is many studies have proven that when you give to other people, when you give your time, your effort, your money, your things around you to other people, it literally makes you happier. It makes you feel better. That's one of the reasons why I try to be as giving as I possibly can, because I need all the help I can get. If you want to partake and join the community, all you gotta do is come out and join us. And I will say again, thanks Josh for coming out. Thanks Red for coming out. Thanks Swift for coming out. Thanks Charles for coming out. If you do want to come out, do not hesitate. We will try to be here every week. We won't be here every week, but we're going to try to be here every week. And I'll say again, Josh, I love you, man. Thank you for coming out. I hope you have a good week.
Yeah, you as well, Dor. And we miss you, Ivor. And just to reiterate what Dor said, thanks everybody in the chat. It's always a blast to hang out.
Yep. And one of these days we will do a private live sharing of watching of the castle. It's just how we're going to do it. I don't know yet.
And as Red said, we're just two wild and crazy guys.
Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd, pinnacle of comedy. I gotta say that. All right, guys, we will talk to you again real soon. Be safe, everyone.
I meant to mention that before when Dor said it. Oh, I'm getting this error again. What
Yeah, there's the link. KDE Connect. It says KDE Connect is a project that enables all your devices to communicate with each other. So you can literally have computer to computer connected and mobile device connected. Receive your phone notification on your desktop computer and reply to messages. Control music playing on your desktop for your phone. Use your phone as a remote control for your desktop. Oh, cool. Um, Run predefined commands on your PC from connected devices. Huh. Check your phone's battery level from the desktop. That's always good. Ring your phone to help find it. Oh, that's definitely good. Share files and links between devices. So it's like clipboard sharing. Um, Browse your phone from the desktop. Yeah. That's good. I'm sure it's not root. It's going to be like download and something else, or SD card, maybe scanning, and control your desktop's volume from the phone. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I even tried this for years, literally years. And it's
I'll
not
be
because
right
it
back.
wasn't useful. So yeah, you can control your computer state. Have to have system D installed. Shut down, reboot, suspend, hibernate, lock screen, unlock screen, turn off screen, turn on screen, lock keyboard and mouse, unlock keyboard and mouse. Volume control, mute, unmute, change a theme. Huh. Brightness setting. That's useful right there. Screen capture, old Spectacle. Have you ever used Spectacle, Josh, on Linux? Did I lose him? Oh, he walked away. Damn it. He just walks away. You don't just walk away. Oh, stuff hurts. Save. This is 568, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 568. Bang. Yeah, KDE Connect, I'll say this, it has matured quite a bit since the last time I looked at it. I have no problem saying that. I will say the app I use for some of this functionality is Universal Remote. I like being able to use my phone as like a trackpad, is what I want to say, and it's like a custom uh, Firefox interface, stuff like that. Hey, Josh. Uh,
Then
the dumb question is have you ever used Spectacle? Spectacle.
not that I'm aware of.
Um, I'll say it's installable on any distribution. In every package management system I've ever seen, it's called KDE Spectacle. It is, I don't want to say the best, but it's maybe the best screenshot. That's not even fair. It does more than just that, but it's the best tool I've ever used for screenshotting. Um, One of the things I love is that you can say a rectangle area and then just draw a simple rectangle, double click that rectangle, and voila, it's in your clipboard. Stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, I've been using. I went away from KDE. I don't know. I like Cinnamon quite a bit for desktop. But I've been using. I've been on Debian now for quite some time,
Well, that's good.
and I don't know, man. I might bail.
Well, I'll put it like this. I'm the guy that hated everything KDE because it was so heavy, it was so bloaty, and it took you away from Linux. you had to learn KDE to learn KDE, and everything you learned in KDE didn't benefit anything else in Linux. Now, to be honest, I'm appreciative of KDE Plasma only because of its speed. Oh my god, it is so fast. I can still load my old school GNOME based applets and tools, and they work just fine. But the speed of the Plasma desktop, when I want a full featured desktop, it is really hard to beat. Of course, I typically run i3, but you know, I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I pick up i3 every now and again, but it's not the it's. I mean, I actually, I installed Debian with KDE on it, and it's just Debian. I don't. Maybe it's just my laptop that's the. Maybe it just doesn't.
Well,
Doesn't
I'll say
like
this:
doesn't
it's
like
part
Linux.
that, and every distribution has their own configuration files. Is the most basic way to put it. So it wouldn't shock me if you load KDE on Slackware, on Arch, on Ubuntu, on Debian, and you'll get 4 different experiences. You know what I mean?
No, I do, but I'm thinking it might be it may be more of a hardware thing.
Well, it does have X compositing, so it's has the opportunity to be flaky. Is the way I'll put it. Yeah. Now, see, that makes a lot of sense, which explains why I'm having a good experience with it on my Pinebook Pro, because it's literally a distribution that's not like x86 installable on anything. It's explicitly for this hardware, kind of like Mac OS X.
Right. But it's not. Again, it's not. It's not KDE necessarily. I think for me, it was more visual with KDE
Right.
that I didn't really care for it that much. But it was. It's more the like Debian is just not. It's not running as well as I would like on this laptop.
Well, that's not good. I'm a Debian fan too.
No, and so am I. I mean, I've only used Debian derivatives. But mostly like I never had. I know you dislike Linux Mint, but I never had any problems with Linux Mint.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The product itself, I like. It's top notch. It's top quality. It's top shelf. It's among the best distributions that have ever existed. It's the people behind it. I will happily beat into the ground. Because let me tell you something. I've never met an Irish person I didn't want to sit down and talk to until I researched that fella.
Oh yeah. I guess I just haven't looked into
Don't
as people. Okay.
Don't.
Sounds good.
It's like when I was a kid and I would eat Scrapple and I'd think, damn, this is good. And then when I was like in my teens, I found out how it was made. So for like 20 years, I didn't eat it.
I don't even know what the hell that is, man.
It's everything that is not in pork chops, is not in bacon, is not in any kind of like pork loin, and is not in chicharrones. It's everything else. It's the snout, it's the brain, it's not pig knuckles, it's the tail, it's everything that's not used.
The hot dog.
And everything not in a hot dog. And a hot dog has almost everything in it.
So it's below a hot dog.
Yeah, it is. It's all the leftovers after the hot dog process, which is kind of scary. And I say that because now I know 2 people who literally worked on the floor of a meat plant. SK is the one that's around me. 2 people who literally worked on the floor. And what they found out was 3 of the rooms they worked in, they had to shovel everything towards a hole in the ground. And later they found out everything that went into that hole went into Scrapple.
Scrabble. I've never even heard of this. How do
It's
you spell it?
basically
What?
gray meat brick that when you cook it is still gray.
Is it like haggis or what?
Oh no, haggis, you know what that is. That's intestines.
Yeah.
It's almost like spam, where spam comes in the container and you turn it over and boop, and it like falls out and it's like a brick of
Yeah.
fatty gelatinous meat. Scrapple is a little bit like that, but less gelatinous. And you basically just cut it up. And if you cut it really thin and fry it really quick, oh, it's fantastic. It's basically spice is all you really taste. Spice and like pepper, salt, pepper, and spices.
Where do you get this stuff? What
Just from the normal grocery store.
are you talking about? How do you hold on? I want to look this up.
Okay.
What is it? How do you spell it?
SCR apple. Scrapple.
What's this, man?
Yeah.
Oh, this must be an East Coast thing.
Well, it turns out it did come from the Pennsylvania Dutch, which
That's what it says.
and I
Yeah.
had no idea. Which explains it, because let me tell you something. You can go in convenience stores here in Maryland and you can buy breakfast sandwiches. Do you want sausage, bacon, or scrapple?
I've never seen this, man. It
Me,
it comes
me
in a tofu container.
yeah.
It looks fantastic though.
Well, some people like it cut really thick and then just fried on the outside. I like it cut thin and fried.
It's a gray spam.
Yep. And I've been saying somebody, oh, it was Whiskey General in Discord had the audacity to send a link in Discord to pumpkin spice spam. If he wasn't an admin, I would have booted him. But I digress.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not sure what quality this og is. That's another thing. I'm having issues with Audacity again. So I'm able to export the OGG file, but I'm not getting the option of choosing the quality of.
You
So
have,
hopefully it'll just go to the 8 that I've always done.
you have options. You're doing export, right?
Yeah, I'm exporting it, and it just I don't get the option.
Mine is export OGG, and then I have to see mine is right there. I did notice, I can't remember where I was at, where I was on a newer distribution, and Audacity was most definitely different.
Oh, it's screwed, man. There's something going on here. Well, I know that as far as the Scrabble, I mean, this is the name is funny as hell because it is. It's just scraps is what
Hmm.
it is.
Yep.
I know that in Hawaii there is
Oh yeah.
spam
Yep.
and everywhere you get spam sushi and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Well, there's a reason for it in
Oh
Hawaii,
yeah, for sure.
because by law they can't have any cows on the island, so every bit of steak or beef literally has to be shipped in, on boats, kind of thing. Um, and Scrapple ships very conveniently, is the way I put it.
Well, I never saw Scrapple
Oh,
in
I'm
Hawaii.
sorry, spam. Yeah,
Yeah,
so they
well,
have
yeah, but
spam sushi.
that was
Um,
also one of the first food items that was introduced from the United States to Hawaii
oh
was
God,
the Navy bringing in spam.
no wonder the native Hawaiians hate us.
They really do. They really hate everybody though.
Yeah. Oh, I know. More than a couple people I know say, "Dude, it's a beautiful place, but man, there's no way I could live there."
I I did live there for a total of 16 months
Right.
in 2 stints, and Yeah, it was. You want to talk about racism? Holy hell, man! Howley is the term.
Yeah.
I got punched in the face at a party for absolutely no reason. It was awesome.
Beard envy.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you about it some other time, but yeah, it was crazy.
Okay, so now I'm here.
Oh shoot! I have to try to sign into your next cloud again. So I remember this didn't work before.
I did that night send you revised credentials, I'll say.
Yeah. Try to find it.
You can't if you got to use, Google or something. It's no big deal.
Yeah, it's just funny. I search for Nextcloud in Thunderbird, and I have 52 people
Huh.
that have sent something for Nextcloud, but it's all internet in a box,
Yeah.
mostly internet in a box stuff.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yes.
Okay. I did put a link in the YouTube chat. I can send you a link later to the egg from Kyrgyzstan. I will tell you it was pretty damn good. So let's see if we can crash this thing. 'Cause that's what happens every other time when I try this. And I will be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, Captain Zero. It was a good one. And I just want to say, I mean, it's so thankful for you guys coming out. It's so nice to have the chat going.
I love me some Bash Top.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I think I can sit there and just run and just watch.
Oh my god. Oh, Nextcloud, you're making this more difficult than it needs to be, which is they call it connection wizard my arse. What the hell, man? Just let me log in. Are you serious?
Some things do not like the fact that I'm using a self-signed cert.
No, this is nothing to do with I can't even get to the part where I need to put in your address. The website is using cookies. It's not a website, it's an app. Oh my god, I can't even. I don't need to sign up. I'm so. I don't even know how to work this anymore, Door.
Don't know. I'm gonna kill the live stream here, guys. Um, I will say one thing that I think I do differently than a lot of other streamers is I always enable DVR. So people, even if they catch it live, they can rewind, fast forward. I've actually caught live streams where once you connect, you can't go back in time. It's like, what? Why would you let me go to the beginning of the stream? Two things I don't know what they are: enable auto start and enable auto stop. Are two settings I don't know what they are in YouTube streaming. Huh? No. Okay. I'm gonna kill the stream. I want to thank everyone for coming out. I have to run upstairs, check on the kids.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, guys, take it easy.